Storytime Santa. I haven't seen or heard from him in a year, but I know he's still out there somewhere. About 7 years ago, when I was 9, I learned something about my friend's dad that still haunts me. It was pretty normal for me to go over to my friend Mary's house and stay until my mom finished her shift. It worked out because both my mom and Mary's dad were single parents, so they would help each other when they could. My mom is a nurse, and on this specific day there was a huge accident involving a bus, and my mom got stuck at work. I remember how happy I was when Mary's dad first told us I would be staying the night, even though we had school the next day. I thought it was going to be a fun night, but instead it was the end of my friendship with Mary, and the beginning of a horrific reality. I tried not to worry, but I couldn't stop thinking about my mom, so sleeping was impossible. Mary was already snoring, so I thought I would go and ask Mary's dad if I could call my mom. I got up and went over to open the door, but suddenly I was terrified. I had never been afraid of Mary's dad before, so I had no idea where the pit in my stomach was coming from. I thought about it and figured my nerves about my mom were getting worse. That made me want to call her more, so I ignored the feeling and made my way downstairs. I stopped short because I could hear this weird noise coming from the living room at the bottom of the stairs. I stood there trying to figure it out, but then I heard Mary's dad ask if someone was there. That's when I thought the knot in my stomach would burst. I was so nervous. I told him it was me and kept going down the stairs even though I knew I was making a huge mistake. The closer I got to the living room, the louder the noise got, and just as I saw it with my own 2 eyes, I recognized the noise. It was crying. On the TV was a girl about my age going through horrible things, but she wasn't crying the way you'd expect. I remember thinking she sounded like a wounded animal. I wanted to turn around and run, but I couldn't stop looking at what I was seeing. And then I heard something else that made my stomach turn. Mary's dad was getting up. I didn't think twice, and I ran as fast as I could back up the stairs, closed Mary's door, and locked it. I went to school the next day, like nothing happened, and I never told Mary or my mom about it. From that point on, I never went to Mary's house again, and I thought I put it all behind me. Well, a year ago I saw the worst thing I think I could have ever possibly seen. I stood there staring while I felt my entire body go numb. I saw Mary's dad sitting in a chair while parents lined up with their kids to sit them on his lap. He was a volunteer Santa.